Hey everyone, my name's Taylor. I'll be your guide, your leader for the second week of Amazed, the story of Elijah and how he followed God. Last week we learned about kind of Elijah's beginning, that he went before God called him before the king, King Ahab, to tell him that his kingdom wasn't following God, and that there was going to be punishment for that in the form of a drought and a famine. So people were going to be hungry, thirsty. They weren't going to have enough to eat to take care of themselves and their animals. When Elijah told the king this, he got mad. So Elijah ran away and hid. But God didn't abandon him. Also in that story, we learned about how despite what the punishments were going to be, God was able to provide and did provide abundantly for Elijah. He found him water. He had birds bring him food as he hid. People Elijah met, a widow and her son that needed help. God didn't let their food supplies run out as they helped Elijah out of faith. Everything from that to when the widow's son got ill and died, Elijah prayed because he'd become close to this family. And in his mercy, God even brought the son back to life. So that's all amazing. Those are miracles from God. And this week continues that story. We're going to follow Elijah and learn about more miracles the Lord proved. Hey again, everyone. I'm actually just sitting here thinking about, could you imagine being so afraid of someone and what they might do to you that you hid from them for 3 years? That seems like a really, really long time to both be hiding and to be afraid of someone. Now imagine if someone came to you and said, despite that fear and you being in hiding for 3 years, your job was now to go confront the very person that you were so afraid of. And not only confront them, but to do pretty much the same things that you did when they initially got mad at you. It doesn't sound like something I would want to do. However, that's what our story is about. After providing for Elijah for 3 years, God finally came back to him and said, Elijah, it's time to once again confront King Ahab. So let's watch the story and see how Elijah reacts to that and what God does in this situation.
Hey there! Have you ever seen something really amazing? Me too! One of the most amazing things I've ever seen was a fireworks show. Fireworks are pretty amazing, and they remind me of another amazing story. Do you want to hear it? It all starts with the prophet Elijah and King Ahab. Ahab was not a good king, and he didn't follow God. In fact, he told his whole kingdom to worship a god who wasn't real, called Baal. Elijah wanted people to know the real God, so he went to King Ahab. Elijah told Ahab to gather the whole kingdom together and meet him on top of a mountain. When they got to the mountain, Elijah proposed a test. He said they should prepare 2 sacrifices, one to God and one to Baal, the not real God. Then Elijah said,
Let's pray that the real God sets one of our sacrifices on fire. Whichever sacrifice burns up will tell us which God is real.
They prepared their sacrifices, and the prophets of Baal asked their God to set fire to the wood. But nothing happened. They tore their clothes. Nothing happened. They danced in circles. Nothing happened. Then it was Elijah's turn. But first, he told the people to drench the wood for his sacrifice with water 3 times. so it would be extra hard to set the wood on fire. When the wood was soaked, Elijah prayed, and God answered. Fire came down from the sky. It was so hot that it burned the sacrifice, the wood, and the ground around it. The people were amazed at how God answered prayer. And just like God provided for Elisha's needs, it's amazing God knows what's best for me.
Oh, hi there, you little chicken nuggets. It's me, Carl. Welcome to Grow TV.
Welcome to Grow TV. Hosted by Carl. Where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now, once again, welcome to Grow TV.
There you are, and there you go. Oh, hey kids. I'm so glad you can make it. I've had a crazy busy week. I'm trying to do something that's super difficult. I'm trying to get organized. You see, getting organized is a very mature and big kid thing to do. I feel like my life is kind of crazy, and I gotta get a hold of it. But the more I try to get a hold of it, the more it feels like I'm just trying to hold on to a slimy, shaking fish. So I figured if I started to plan out my life, started making choices for my future, it would be better. Like for example, this is my bucket list journal. Inside are all the things I want to do before I go to heaven. Go skydiving, fly a kite on the Eiffel Tower, wear a face mask of Chick-fil-A sauce, drop kick something, find out what pepper spray feels like, brush a shark's tooth, eat a gallon of mayonnaise at a rodeo, play rock, paper, scissors with a grizzly bear, and hold a conference call. That's just a few. And this right here, this is my life plan journal. Everything I'm ever going to do in my life is in here. I planned it all out. That way, there's no surprises. I get to do what I want. It's perfect.
Carl!
TJ, it's great to see you, man.
Whoa, look at you. Look like you got a clean desk for a change, huh?
Yes, sir. I've got everything in place. It's all clean, and the rest of my life is planned out.
The rest of your life? Oh, okay.
That's right. The whole enchilada. Every day from here on out.
Wow. All right. So I guess you definitely know what's best for your life, huh?
Of course. Who better make those decisions and know what's best for me than me?
So why don't you share with me a little bit of the plan you have laid out so far for the rest of your life?
I thought you'd never ask. At age 25, I'm going to be a millionaire. That's a given. I will invest hundreds of dollars into genetic research so that I can become part human and part stingray. At age 30, I'll move to Ireland and become a professional pizza eater. At age 35, I'll buy a boat and devote 10 years to mapping out the ocean and trying to figure out Loch Ness Monster. After I turn 45, I'll spend the rest of my life living on the beach, catching fish, yelling at birds. That's the perfect life.
Wow. That's something, Carl.
I know. It feels good knowing things will go my way.
Sure.
What's wrong?
Well, I just know that there are times when we don't know what's best for our lives because, to be honest, things change.
I don't know if that's true. I'd probably need a Bible story to back it up, possibly change my mind.
Well, you're in luck. Let's take a look at 1 Kings 18.
Well, alrighty then.
So last week we were talking about Elijah, and this week we'll be talking about...
SpongeBob?
No, Elijah. We'll be talking about Elijah. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, duh, I knew that.
So Elijah was hiding for almost 3 years. God told him to go back out and talk to King Ahab, who didn't like Elijah very much. Because now Ahab and his people have been worshiping other gods besides the one true God.
Well, that's not good.
No, it sure wasn't. So after a while, they went out to a place called Mount Carmel. Elijah asked the people why they were worshiping all these other different gods, especially the one called Baal. Then Elijah issued a challenge.
Oh, I love challenges.
The people who followed Baal would have a bull to sacrifice, and Elijah would get a bull to sacrifice as well. They would put the bull on the altar, and the one that was completely burnt up by fire from heaven would prove that their God was the real God.
Wow, things are starting to heat up.
Good one. So the people of Baal went first. They spent hours and hours trying to get their God to send fire from heaven, but nothing worked.
So that means their plan and their God didn't work. Huh.
You're absolutely right. So after all that effort and no fire, they finally gave up. Then it was Elijah's turn.
Oh, yeah.
First, Elijah made them soak the bull in water.
Water? That's not going to help it burn it up.
Nope. But Elijah was trying to make a point. Elijah knew that God was powerful enough to set something on fire that was soaking wet. So, after they put the water on the bull, Elijah said a simple prayer. And then guess what happened?
Fire?
Fire. Fire came from heaven and burnt up the bull, burnt up the water, burnt up the wood, even burnt up the rocks.
What? That's crazy. I bet all the people of Baal didn't have that plan.
They sure didn't. You see, Carl, the people of Baal made their own plans, lived how they saw fit, and did what they wanted to do. But we are called to listen to God and trust God in every circumstance.
Wow, I guess I never thought about it like that. It's amazing God knows what's best for me.
Hey, that's our big idea.
Today's big idea is, it's amazing. God knows what's best for me.
So on the count of 3, we will say it out loud. You ready, Carl?
Ready? 1,
2,
3.
It's amazing.
God knows what's best for me. Woohoo! God
Good job,
sure
man.
does.
Good job, ladies.
All right, good job, everyone. So TJ, I guess I can throw these all out, huh?
You don't have to do that. Just as long as you trust and listen to God first.
I guess you're right. Question, TJ. Do you think God would want me to do this?
Which one is that, man?
Well, it's my goal this year. Hug a porcupine.
Yeah, I'd probably pass on that one.
You're probably right. I'll go catch one.
Wait, Carl. No, don't. All right, kids. Listen, we'll see y'all next week. See you next time.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Pro TV.
Welcome back, everyone. That was an amazing story, wasn't it? To see what God did when Elijah had not only King Ahab, but all the prophets of a false god and the entire nation of Israel and Samaria watching, to allow them to allow the prophets of Baal to spend all day trying to call on their God for aid. In every ways, dancing, all the way to harming themselves. And then at the end to come in with just a word from Elijah and eat up not just the offering that they were intending to, but rocks and earth and water with the Lord's fire. It was a miracle, and that miracle was intended to bring his nation of Israel back to him. Because that was what Elijah's actions were about, was showing his power, not to show that he was almighty, but to bring his people back to him, and back to worshiping him when they had gone astray. So everyone, I think this story is a perfect example of our big idea for this week. It's amazing. God knows what's best for me. Why that is this. Would anybody have thought what was best for Elijah when King Ahab wanted to not only find him and punish him, but kill him for his actions in telling Ahab about the disappointment of God and the punishments of God to his people and kingdom? Would you have thought that was what was best for him? To go confront that man, and not confront him humbly, but confront him with more challenges from the Lord? No. But amazingly, because God knows what's best for everyone, not only did it allow Elijah to come out of hiding, but it brought God's people back to him. It gave them back control of their own spiritual life led them away from false worship of Baal, and so much more. It brought rain to alleviate the drought from their land. And it's just a perfect example of, even when the things God wants us to do seem scary and seem like they might not be the best thing we can do, He does truly know what's best, and confronting that may just bring us unimaginable blessings. Thank you so much for spending this time with me on our second week in Amazed, learning about the miracles of God and learning more about Elijah and what God did through his life and what miracles he showed his people. Please come back next week as we continue to learn about the miracles performed by God in Amazed Week 3.